Rolling.
Okay. Took a slight break there to change some batteries, and now we're back to talk about love.
Okay.
Okay, so you get married.
Yeah.
In the mix of coming back and doing music, where do you meet the love of your life?
I had met him some years back in a church that I went to minister at. I was at Papa Center Church. I went to sing, and that was at that time I only had Nishikilie. I believe I only had Nishikilie.
Yeah.
I went and ministered, and it was one of those conversations where he was like, I really love you. So the music I had sold out on the CDs, and it's like, I really love your music, but I didn't get a CD. Can we meet during the week? Can you give me a CD? And like, so I knew his brother from before, Pastor George. So I told him, oh, that's fine. I'll give it to your brother to give it to you. He's like, no. I'm thinking we can just meet. You give me the CD. Now, it wasn't that I'm playing hard to get. I was completely clueless because I was not in that headspace. Or I did not want a relationship. I'd come out of a relationship and I was not interested. So I was not seeing what you're telling, the writing on the wall.
Yes.
But eventually, after a
let me
while,
ask this. A lot of guys must have been hitting you. You are a pretty Chile.
Thank
you love
you.
God. Not Chile, you're a pretty woman.
Thank you.
You love God. You've got this fame. Why you getting a lot of people sliding in the DMs?
It's a lot of people, and then it's difficult to know who is who and what they want from you. So part of me was always guarded because of that. But that wasn't the bigger thing. The bigger thing for me was just, I didn't want a relationship. Yeah, okay. I was like, can I just heal? Can I just be? Can I just focus on my music?
Okay.
But we became friends, eventually started talking on Facebook. Although he'd message me and I'd respond like 2 weeks later, that kind of thing. I was on the mountain seeking the Lord.
So you knew he was...
At some point I started to be like, okay, something is after. But I was like, nah, not now.
Did you meet him to give him the CD?
So we eventually met after a really long time. But I knew as I was going for that coffee date, Lily Joan, what I'm taking myself to do there as well. I knew that going means that I am opening a door for something. So yeah, we met and we had coffee, and the rest is history. Yes.
Okay. So you get married now?
Yes.
Okay.
So we get married, and then now a little while into it, I get a call from my boss at Royal Media. And he wants to find out, what are you doing with yourself these days? Would you want to come back? And I was like, I mean, maybe.
Becky?
Becky, and also my boss, Waroro. At Royal Media. So, and I need to say that Waroro is the person who, from the get, believed in me and decided, because, as I said, I was not the most qualified person to audition for this thing. And maybe one day if you can get, and I say this because she's now my bestie, so she can tell you honestly, they didn't want me for that show. They had someone who they already had in mind to do this show. And Waroro said, no, I want this one, this green one. This is the one I want.
What?
Yes. So I have a lot of respect for him as a coach, as a boss, and etc. So I'm being called back for, what are you doing with yourself? Do you want to come back? The reason being, there was an opportunity, an opening. Some people had moved out of Kumbamba and now they needed a host, and they were thinking, let's get a female host. So we talk, and I'm like, yeah, sure, let's do it. So I jump back in, and this time I sort of started understanding this space, this public people being in your face space.
Yeah.
It doesn't scare me as much. I was more grounded. So I got into it and just, head first. This time my co-host was DJ Mose. And again, just learned a lot from him. The dynamics were completely different from Rauka, because Kumbamba is now a youth show.
Exactly.
So everything was different, from your dressing to everything was completely different. And I loved it. That's
Actually
also
fit your
when-
personality fits better in
Me too.
in Kumbamba than it was in Rauka.
Me too. But a lot of people, I guess, because they first knew me as a Rauka person, were always like, "Oh, I miss you in Rauka." Rauka was great, and it's great because I'm doing Rauka right now. But Kambua's personality, I'm a very free spirit. I like to make noise. I like to laugh. I don't like being contained in that.
Yes,
in that way.
I get.
So, so we start doing Kumbamba, and then Kumbamba Radio starts. And Moz asks me, "Kay, would you like to be on radio?" So
no, not even Kumbamba Radio. Hot 96. Yeah,
contracts
I came.
Kumbamba. Yeah, you came on our show.
Yeah.
So Hot 96 gives.
Thank you.
a show.
You saw me.
we saw you, A-Star.
Anyway, go on.
So we're doing this show. It was called Inuka.
Yes, Inuka.
Inuka. So I'm hosting a show with DJ Moz, and it was such a fun show. It was a mid-morning show. It was fantastic, and we did it for a while, and then our contract ended with Hot 96, and then now they established themselves as Kumbamba Radio. Yeah.
So let me say this.
Yeah.
For those who may not know, under Royal Media there are many radio stations and
Yes.
TV stations.
Yes.
So Hot 96 was one of the radio stations
Yes.
that was there. So
Yes.
not only were you on Citizen TV under Royal Media, now
Yeah.
you are also under Hot 96 doing the
Yes,
mid-morning
doing
show.
a mid-morning gospel show.
Yeah. I mean, and that was daily.
Yeah.
So how was that?
It was intense. It was intense. But the thing about radio, I loved that I didn't need to worry too much about how do I look. You know, what am I wearing tomorrow? I just be decent and go and have. But you needed to know what you're saying.
Yes.
Now you can't show up on radio not knowing what you're saying because your looks are not going to sell you. So we had to have content. It was high energy. I really enjoyed it. I actually really enjoyed it. However, by the time Inuka, the contract ended, I knew that radio is a fun space for me, but it's not the core of what I want to do. That was very clear for me. So when Kumbamba Radio, an opportunity opened up, and I had this conversation with Moz and told me, "What do you think? You know, can we give you a show? Can you come and host someone or whatever?" I had that conversation with Kambua where I want to intentionally do things that I know are core to who Kambua is and where her brand is going. So I said no to that opportunity because I was like, there are people who radio is their heart.
They wake up every
and
day.
And they're brilliant. Like if you listen to voices like Kerry Kagiri, she's a radio voice and she's brilliant, she's passionate. So I felt, let the people who are passionate be in that space. Let me focus on the space that I feel I'm passionate about. And for me, it's the music and the TV. So I never went back to radio, and I believe my journey ended. I don't say never. I believe the journey ended. So we continued, and then Kumbamba, the contract of Kumbamba ended with Royal Media Services.
Yes.
And now I was directly under Royal Media Services, and the production changed to Bambika.
Yes.
So I continued hosting Bambika. We got a new host, Holy Dave came on board. I did that with Holy Dave, and then I got pregnant, and I could no longer go everywhere. So I was having a child, and I moved back to Rauka because it allowed me to just be in the studio and not have to jump around anywhere. So that's how I ended up going back to where I started, which is Rauka.
Okay, can I ask, since you brought it up, you don't have to talk if you don't want to, it's all freely up to you, but can we talk about the getting your child?
Yeah.
Okay, in fact, can we go back? In fact, we'll come there. We'll come there because he's more recent. He's
recent.
2019.
He's fresh out of the oven.
Okay, let's go back to the music.
Yes.
Because I'm trying to just you've said the music is your core.
Yeah.
Now, what then says, okay, because a lot of people don't know that Kambua has a third album. And for me, I think my introduction to that, I'm not sure if it was mine, but the song that was like, yo, I really like this. In fact, my daughter is obsessed with it.
Okay.
I was like, okay. Sami did the video, Sami did it as well.
Yes.
Okay, let's talk about working now on this third album.
Okay.
What was the first song you did? How did the journey start?
So the first song on this album, I believe, actually was Usiku na Mchana. It was either Usiku na Mchana or Umetenda Mema. I could be confusing it. I'm not sure.
You just got too many songs. How
I do have a lot of songs, and I can't remember which one came first. But I remember, actually, it definitely was not Usiku na Mchana, because I did Umetenda Mema, which people felt I had taken them closer to Kambua Nishikilie. And I worked on that song with a producer his name is Sam, and he was working under Sakata. We called him Lokua because he plays the guitar and he sounded like Lokua Kanza. So we called him Sam Lokua. So Sam Lokua worked on Umetenda Mema with me, and then I did a song called Bado Nasimama, which was produced by Saint P.
First of all, Umetenda Mema.
Yeah.
Why? What's I like hearing the backstories.
Yeah. The backstory was, I was reflecting on so much that had happened for me in my life and in such a short period of time. And there were things which I could not take credit for. I remember just looking back and thinking, this journey has been so amazing. It's been such an overwhelming journey. And it has really been 100% God leading me and favoring me and opening doors for me. So I was looking back and saying, Umetenda Mema, and that's why I sing. This is the reason behind why I sing, is because you are good and you've been good to me.
Nakushukuru we, nakutukuza we, umenitendea mambo ya ajabu. Mimi nisemeje ili nikushukuru? Nasema ewe Mungu, umenitendea, umetenda mema, umetenda mema, umetenda mema, ndio maana naimba. Umetenda mema, umetenda mema, umetenda mema, ndio maana naimba.
Your song sounds like it's not even, you're not singing them for us to hear. I mean, you're not singing them it's like you are singing them to God and we are eavesdropping on that conversation.
Pretty much. And I like to say with my music, I'm a physician who takes their own medicine first. So my music heals me first. My music speaks to me and lifts me first. And then I put it out to you guys for it to heal you and to lift you and to encourage you.
That's so cool.
But if it doesn't do those things to me, I don't put it out. I have music which will never see light of day because I didn't feel that like it edified me. So
that's powerful. And even now, just hearing your journey,
Yeah.
even I've uttered,
Yeah.
hey, you've got favor. You know, oh, that was God. Like, how did that just happen? You are abroad and then you've got the biggest song in the country.
Yeah.
You know, so
Yeah.
with that understanding of your backstory, I'm now like, okay, I
Yeah.
get that. I can listen to that song with a new,
yeah.
in fact, I want to listen to it with that new
Yes,
mindset.
yes.
Okay, so you record that, you shoot even a video for that.
We shot a video. Jay Blessing shot Umetenda Mema for me. The song did really, really well.
What when you say did really, really well, what do you mean by that?
So this song, I remember Jugush calling me and telling me, hey, fanya songs kama hizi, He felt like it had a mass appeal, I remember meeting Jimmy Gate and says, Kambua, this song, And when Jimmy tells you a song is good, you better believe it's good.
Yes.
Because he's a master of writing songs that catch the masses. So anyway, it's a song that was able to, for me, what made me so grateful with Umetenda Mema is a kind of song that churches adopted into their worship.
Nice. Okay.
So it didn't need Kambua to keep pushing it. Play this song, play this. Guys took it and owned it.
Okay.
And I love that about music because it's not for me. I'm not singing it so that it's Kambua song. I'm singing it so you can take it and run with it. So that happened with Umetenda Mema.
Okay.
Then I did, I wrote Bado Nasimama.
Okay, Bado Nasimama. Now let's talk about that.
I wrote Bado Nasimama. I recorded it with Saint P. And then, and I had met Saint P years before when I was doing voiceovers at Homeboys. So this, you know, Saint P and I started working on music. This is one of the songs. We went and shot it. We shot it first with J Blessing, and then it never saw light of day.
Blessing, tutaongea juu ya hiyo story.
We are good now. We made peace. So I ended up going back to, I looked for Lucas.
Oh.
And Lucas had this brilliant young man called Alfie who was working for him. Alfie was shooting really good videos. You know, can Lucas listen to the song? Okay, Alfie, here we go. He ran with it and he gave me a really, really good video.
Bado nasimama, bado naendelea, bado najikaza, nifike kule. Bado nasimama, bado naendelea, bado najikaza, nifike kule. Bila neema na rehema zako, ningekuwa wapi mimi? Bila upendo na fadhili zako, maisha yangu yangekuwa bure. Kwa wema wako kanisimamisha, na imani yangu ukaiweka salama. Kama si wewe, mwamba wa wokovu wangu, nisingeweza, ningeangamia. Bado nasimama, bado naendelea, bado najikaza, nifike kule. Bado nasimama, bado naendelea, bado najikaza.
Why were you saying Bado Nasimama?
Bado Nasimama was to, it's like reiterating my faith that I'm not, no matter what happens, I'm not gonna look back, I'm not gonna fall away from my faith. I'm going to stand, and I'm still standing because of the grace of God.
What was making you write that? What was making you be at the point where you're saying, I'm still standing?
There's so many challenges and hurdles. Being an artist, being a gospel artist, being a female gospel artist. And we get, you know, and this is why, like, one of the things I do even as a TV host is I'm very intentional with pushing female artists, because as a female artist, I know the kind of challenges we go through. I've had countless reasons to give up. From reasons like, you know, even gigs. You know, I'd look at gigs and think gigs are in Kenya sort of curated for the male artists. Because a lot of the artists you'll find, Kambua, Alice Kamande, you know, Masha Mapen, they're doing music that doesn't necessarily fit the kind of gigs that are created. We might not have the Rusha Mikono kwa hewa music, so we're not getting those platforms. So you're putting in so much in your music, you're not getting platforms to perform it. It's not making sense. You want to give up. It's also female artists who most of the time will take their music to a station or to a producer, to a DJ, and they'll tell you, if you don't have lunch with me, I'm not gonna play your song. Or Esther katiad me and I refuse, so Esther decides Kambua's music is never gonna play on this station or anybody else's station.
But this is given an example, eh?
It's an example. Esther didn't katia me. So it was all these things that I was battling, and I wanted to say that no matter what, I'm going to stand. So that's the story behind Bado Nasimama, that it's really by the grace of God that we stand. It's by the grace of God that I didn't give up, that I have not given
Yep.
up to date. It's only by the grace of God.
Let me say,
Yeah.
I've been trying to get a lot of females or women
Yeah.
to come onto this platform, and I understand why they're scared or yani it's just
Yeah.
because the industry is harsh.
The industry is harsh.
The industry is harsh, first and foremost. The music industry is harsh. Now then the gospel industry is another harsh platform. And then just the economy is harsh.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, so then it's harder. I don't understand being, I mean, I may slightly understand because my wife also,
Yeah.
I mean, she's like, I've got this amazing voice. I want to sing, but I don't want anything to do with the industry.
Exactly.
Hence why we did for her the 52 weeks, 52 songs project.
Yes.
Just music for her to use her gift.
Yes.
And that's the first time I understood the landscape from a woman's perspective
Yeah.
of the fear that she may have. And she had me.
Yeah.
So I can imagine now being alone.
Imagine. And I was telling you this earlier, Esther, that many times I'll tell you many interviews that I'll say no to, not because I don't want those opportunities, but because you go for an interview, you want someone to hear about your craft and what you're putting into your craft, but what they want to ask you is, I heard you broke up with so and so, you know, and it's not a fair playing field. I want to be called for an artist as an artist, and let's talk about my craft. If I want to tell you about the love of my life, I'll tell you.
Exactly.
But let it not be that you're just digging for scandals and nini to taint it. So a lot of there's a lot that we contend with as female artists. So we'll shy away from many opportunities because of things like that.
Whoa, okay. That Badonasi Mama has just taken a whole new meaning. And thank you for openly sharing that.
Yeah.
Okay, so you put that out.
Yes.
What?
So I put out Badonasi Mama. It also took a life of its own, and people loved it. I think the biggest fan of that song is my mother. And then came Usiku na Mchana. So for Usiku na Mchana, the beat came before the song. And Saint P gave me a beat. I was like, okay, this is really cool. And he was still at Homeboys at the time when he gave me that beat.
Yeah.
And I went home, and that's, that's the tune that started coming to my head. And I started to write to it. And I wrote it, and I told him, okay, I have a song. I have the song. And we went to studio, and we recorded it. And he's like, man, Kambua, this is a song. And I was like, absolutely not.
It was so counter to your to the two which are doing well.
Yes.
And yeah, she's back. Thank you. She's back to Dishike.
Yeah,
Dishikile.
Yeah, and then I'm like, no, as in, people will question my salvation. What is this?
And okay, let's first talk about from a lyric perspective.
Yeah.
Where were you going with this?
I wanted a praise song. I wanted a song that just makes you happy, because that's what the track makes you feel. You hear the track, you're just happy, you want to dance. But I also wanted it to be that when you hear a happy track, it's not lyrically shallow. So this song is actually like a full praise song of God, I'll praise you in the day, I'll praise you in the night. I'll talk about your love that has captured me. So it was my love song to God, really, is what it is. And so we recorded it, and I sat on that song
for a minute.
Almost 2 years. Yes. And Saint kept calling, "This song bana, apana, Jiro, apana." I wasn't ready, and I didn't think the people were ready for it. And then at some point I was like, okay, fine, fine, let's put it out.
So what I'm hearing you saying is that there's been a lot of judgment from us, the fans, or from us, the consumers of your music, anytime you put out something.
Yeah.
And that sometimes can limit or hinder you from releasing something that you know is good.
Yeah, it can.
Just because of the box that you've been put in.
Yes. And it's a very intricate balance, because I think as an artist, you also need to you just believe in what you're doing so much that you're willing to take that risk with it, yeah. But sometimes you also have to make a very calculated risks, and say that, okay, this is a really good project, but this is not the time for this project, yeah. So it's a balance I'm still figuring it out till now. So when we released the song, I didn't even have a video for it. We put out the audio, and my goodness,
It did really well.
it did.
Yeah.
And I was getting people who are sending me clips of themselves singing this song in church, the place that I thought would be the place that's like, what is this she's singing, is a very place I took this song and ran with it, I remember JCC, like every Sunday, I was getting clips of people, this is our song. It became like part of their repertoire in church. So St. P was like, you have to do a video, you have to. So enter Sammy D. So Sammy D came with a really brilliant concept. We got different dance groups and whatever, and we did a video for Usiku na Mchana, put it out, and again, videos just seem to add more life to a song, yeah?
St. P, we that beat. Usiku na mchana nakupa sifa, day and night, Lord, I'll give you praise. Kila niendapo nakuinua, I will honor and live for you. Usiku na mchana nakupa sifa, day and night, Lord, I'll give you praise. Kila niendapo nakuinua, I will honor and live for you. I will praise you, Lord, you have made me glad. Lift your name up high, let the whole world know you have been my help, my on-time God. Rafiki wa karibu, hey, hey. You're the Alpha and the Omega, my beginning and my end. Usiku na mchana nakupa sifa, day and night, Lord, I'll give you praise. Kila niendapo nakuinua, I will honor and live for you. Usiku na mchana nakupa sifa, day and night, Lord, I'll give you praise. Kila niendapo nakuinua, I will honor and live for you.
So that was another project.
Let me say something big about Usiku na Mchana.
Yeah.
For me, I feel like it entered a new demographic.
Yes.
I feel
it
like
did.
now 6-year-olds, 7-year-olds, young kids, young girls and kids actually, in fact, how my daughter got to know about this song is because I went to a friend's house and they've got 6-year-olds and 7-year-olds, and that was the anthem. Repeats. I'm like, this is Kambua's song, and look at this kid. I don't have a song that catches. But it was amazing because now it's a whole other demographic that has been introduced to you that have no idea about Nishiki.
Exactly. And even there was that demographic, and even the fact that it was that house sound, it also opened me up to, I was getting people in Australia, people in the US, people in Canada, we love this song, what does it mean, and that's something that I hadn't been able to do with Nishikilio Metenda Mema, which are great songs, but this just opened up other people who appreciate that kind of sound.
Okay, all of this now we're talking about the third album.
Yes, all this is
what's the name of the third
album? Anatimiza.
Anatimiza is available, link is right there.
Yes.
So, I mean, all these songs that we're talking about, just click on the link below, go to mook.com and you'll capture it. Okay, so let's continue. I'm really loving this. Where does Again come?
Again is in album number 2.
Can we talk about Again?
Yeah.
I remember Again. I remember that. I think, was it even a video done by Sakata? Yes, I remember Again.
Good memory.
Yes. I know it's called Undercover Fan. Those people who watch the Playhouse and don't comment. I see you.
We see each other. I did Again after I had gone through heartache. And I wrote this song coming from that place and getting to a place of, okay, I'm still here. I am still Kambua. I can still, I'm still an artist. I can still create beyond the pain, beyond all of that messy stuff. I'm still here. And so I remember how this song came to me. I have songs that There are songs that I write, like I'll decide, let me take my notepad, I want to write a song right now. And I have other songs that are literally, I feel like they're literally dropped in my spirit. And again was one of those songs. I was seated at Java with my music, I was just chilling my book. And lyrics started to come to my spirit. And I knew it's one of those where it's like, there are times even in the middle of the night, a tune will come and I have to grab my phone and record them because I know in the morning I will not remember. It was that situation where I knew lyrics are coming. If I don't write it right now, I will not remember. So I called a waiter and I said, can you give me a pen and a paper? And he gave me his notepad, the one they write the orders, and a pen. And I wrote it, and it was the song in its entirety. In a few minutes, completely written down, a full song. And it was there, the melody and the lyrics together. And I told Bosiri, I have a song.
And you knew, you just knew. This one is straight from God, needs to be. Yeah.
And I knew, again, might not be the kind of song where you say, it's for the masses. But it was a very significant song for me. And it's one song that I get just the most unexpected people telling me, my favorite song is Again, because it spoke to me at a time when I was very broken. And that's what I was telling you about. I'm the physician who takes their own medicine. And I realized that my music has not just been for me. It's not just for Kambua's story. It goes and does that and more into other people's lives, which I really, I give God the glory for that. I remember stories like, that stand out for me was like when I did Nishikilia years later, someone came and told me, a friend of mine in Kisumu told me that her mom got cured of cancer. She used to sing and pray to God using Nishikilia every single day. And she got cured of cancer. And she believes it's a praise that she used to do, singing along to this song. And I say, well, glory to God, because it has nothing to do with me. I'm not a healer, I have no power, but God does. And I love when God can take that. Music is such a powerful tool. Whether it's gospel or secular, it's powerful. So that's what, again, is a very special song for me. And then Sakata did the video and put it out, and yeah.
I'm not the little girl I used to be. Ever since that change came into my life, I was standing in the rain. All my hope was lost. Everything I had was gone. I know it's not too late to get my life back, to dream again, believe again, get up again. No, it's not too late to start over anew and to soar on the wings of your love. I can breathe again, I can smile again, I can laugh again, standing tall again. All the tears are gone and the pain is gone. Yes, I can breathe again, yeah. You see, when a vision comes from God, then it will surely come to pass. The devil may try to kill your dream, but I'm here to tell you this, that the devil cannot destroy anything started by God. What God says is forever settled in heaven. Your dream will live again. It will live again. No, it's not too late to get your life.
So let's man, I love it. Sorry, I got that one. That one touched me because as you've spoken, I've understood. I remember, you know, the way even it just came now.
Yeah.
I clearly remember listening to again, and I remember just thinking of the lyrics within the song. You get. Anyway, so let's move on into. I mean, we're jumping here and there.
Yes.
Just because you've talked about. Before we continue on the third album, just because you've talked about again, I'm thinking of another. From the other one, Happy. I remember seeing you with Mr. Seed.
Wow,
collab.
that's very recent, eh?
Oh, it is, eh?
It's that one is it's a year and something ago.
Okay,
Yeah?
we'll talk, but that's still fine.
Yeah, we can talk about it.
I still want to know, just because the again had the heartbreak. Happy is like the complete different perspective.
Yeah. Mr. Seed had been trying to do a song with me for
It's like they have been trying to do this interview.
I'm a master hepara.
Why? Actually, why?
Why do I run away?
And what does it take for you to do collabos?
I ran away because I don't like to just do music for the sake of doing music. Just because we're two gifted artists doesn't mean that we need to do a song together. I think that doing a collaboration should be a very intentional process. And so sometimes I'll just take a run away because I feel maybe it's not even the time for it. And not everybody understands that.
Yeah.
Some people just be like, she said no. I didn't say no, I said not now. So Mr. Seed is one of the people I said to, not now. So I love collaborations. As I told you, you get to experience one another and experience each other's audiences, and you both bring a different flavor to a song. So when Mr. Seed finally told me, Kambua, I have the song, Kuja Studio Skize, I went to studio, listened, loved it, we recorded it, you know, and the rest is history. Yeah.
EMP Records. Umenipenda sana, we ni mwema. Oh Lord, umenishika moyo, siwezi toka.
Mr. Seed again. Nakambua, I am happy ya kwamba nimeokoka leo. I am happy ya kwamba nimempata Yesu. I am happy ya kwamba nimeokoka leo. I am happy ya kwamba nimempata Yesu.
How I love you Lord, ulinipenda kwanza kabla nikupende. How I love you Lord, na shida zangu zote umeshazipiga teke. How I love you, nashindwa hata jambo la kusema. How I love you, maisha yangu umekamilisha.
Watu walinichanganya wakakoroga wakasema dunia inatosha. Wakachanganya wakakoroga wakasema wokovu haiwezi. Nimependwa na Yesu oi, nimeonja utamu oi.
Nimependwa na Yesu oi, nimeonja utamu oi.
I am happy ya kwamba nimeokoka leo. I am happy ya kwamba nimempata Yesu. I am happy ya kwamba nimeokoka.
Okay. Shot a nice video as well for that.
Yeah, we did.
Let's go back to, you know, it's so funny because Kambua is, I see you in so many different lights. You get, so sometimes you're right, these other things take away the musicianship.
Yeah.
You get,
Yeah.
because I mean, you're on TV, you're doing these things, and you know, TV, you're being seen every week.
Yes.
You're on hugely influencing on social media.
Yeah.
You're doing all these MC events or corporate events, even, which we'll talk about in terms of brand ambassadorship,
Yes.
pushing different agendas.
Yeah.
So we sometimes forget about this is actually a musician first.
Yeah.
That's why on this interview, I'm trying, as much as I'm trying to holistically paint you,
Yeah.
I'm really spending a lot of time on the music, because the music is what I call the music the arrowhead.
Yes.
Once music opens so many doors and opportunities, that the word no has to become, you have to know your vision.
Exactly.
So let's go back now to
Yeah.
the music. So we've spoken about, now Usuki Mamchana has
Yeah.
gone out, new
Yeah.
demographic,
Yes.
cross borders. What's next?
Then I did Taonana Tena. I did
Okay.
Taonana Tena.
Let's speak about that.
So this song I did after the loss of my father.